It's time for your local farm news weekend review. This week in farm news, the Minnesota Department of Agriculture is pleased to announce the publication of the 2015 Green Book, a set of stories about sustainable agriculture research and demonstration projects taking place on Minnesota crop, livestock, fruit, and vegetable farms. The 25-year-old SADG program provides grants for testing farming ideas that focus on conservation, energy, profitability, and/or farmers' quality of life. The Minnesota Department of Agriculture staff members help convert each project's annual report into a short article so other farmers can benefit from this investment. This year's Green Book is nearly 90 pages long and includes stories about 19 projects, including several on cover cropping, a comparison of high tunnels and quick hoops, energy efficiency on dairy farms, solar-powered drip irrigation, compost tea, beneficial insect habitats, and controlling thistle in organic blueberries. The online version is available at the Minnesota Department of Agriculture's website, or you can call for your free copy by calling 651-201-6012 or email allison.fish@state.mn.us. The Sustainable Agriculture Demonstration Grant Program is currently accepting applications for on-farm projects that could conserve natural resources, enhance profitability, and improve farm life. Details on an online application are available at the Minnesota Department of Agriculture's website. Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack this week announced that the U.S. Department of Agriculture will award $30 million to projects in 6 states to protect, restore, and enhance wetlands on private and tribal agricultural lands. The projects are being funded under the Wetland Reserve Enhancement Partnership, a program authorized by the 2014 Farm Bill. Created by the 2014 Farm Bill, WREP is a special enrollment option under the Agricultural Conservation Easement Program's Wetland Reserve Easement component. Through WREP, which is administered by the USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service, states, local units of government, non-governmental organizations, and American Indian tribes collaborate with NRCS through cooperative and partnership agreements. These partners work with tribal and private landowners who voluntarily enroll eligible land into easements to protect, restore, and enhance wetlands on their properties. Wetland reserve easements allow landowners to successfully enhance and protect habitat for wildlife on their lands, reduce impacts from flooding, recharge groundwater, and provide outdoor recreational and educational opportunities. The voluntary nature of the NRCS's easement programs allows effective integration of wetland restoration on working landscapes, providing benefits to farmers and ranchers who enroll in the program, as well as benefits to the local and rural communities where the wetlands exist. NRCS awarded grants for projects in Iowa, Kentucky, Missouri, Mississippi, Nebraska, and Tennessee. Syngenta has announced a new 20-year, $200 million agreement to expand its licensing of current and future genetically modified corn traits. The agreement covers licensing with KWS, Lima Grain, AgReliant, and Genetitive, and their business in North America and elsewhere. Syngenta will receive an upfront payment of $200 million for its trait portfolio, as well as payments depending on royalties and milestones. The deal depends on regulatory approvals. The Minnesota Corn Growers Association State Board of Directors recently elected Noah Hultgren as its new president for 2015-2016. Hultgren grows corn, soybeans, sugar beets, edible beans, and canning vegetables on his family farm near Raymond in Candy, Ojai County. Hultgren is a fourth-generation family farmer and was elected to the Minnesota Corn Growers Association Board back in 2011. He replaces Bruce Peterson from Northfield, whose term ended on September 30th. The Minnesota Department of Agriculture last week identified emerald ash borer in Washington County. An adult emerald ash borer was found on a survey trap that had been placed at the MnDOT St. Croix rest area on I-94. During a follow-up visit, staff discovered a nearby tree had tunneling consistent with the invasive pest. These survey traps are one tool we have used to search for emerald ash borer in areas close to known infestations, as is the case in Washington County. This according to Minnesota Department of Agriculture entomologist Mark Abrahamson. With the help of these traps, private citizens on the lookout for signs of emerald ash borer and private and public partners, we can identify new infestations on the insect early and take measures to slow its spread in the state, he said. Because this is the first time that the emerald ash borer has been identified in Washington County, the specimen has been sent to the United States Department of Agriculture for confirmation, which is expected later this week. Pending confirmation, the Minnesota Department of Agriculture and the USDA will work closely to determine appropriate follow-up actions. One of the likely actions will place Washington County under an emergency quarantine. Washington County would join the counties of Anoka, Chisago, Dakota, Fillmore, Hennepin, Houston, Olmsted, Ramsey, Scott, and Winona counties in a state and federal quarantine. The quarantine is in place to help prevent the spread of emerald ash borer outside of a known infested area. It is designed to limit the movement of any items that may be infested with the emerald ash borer, including ash trees and ash tree limbs, as well as all hardwood firewood. This all according to the Minnesota Department of Agriculture. And that concludes this week's Local Farm News Week in Review. This is Farm Director Scott Colomb saying, thanks for listening.